Zimbabwe stands at a pivotal crossroads, making headlines by choosing China for a transformative $533 million railway overhaul. This decision is more than just an upgrade of steel and tracks. It's a bold move that could reshape the nation's future. While Western companies put forward their own proposals, Harare deliberately looked east, signaling a significant shift in its global partnerships and alliances. This choice marks a turning point in how Zimbabwe positions itself on the world stage. This isn't just about trains or infrastructure. It's about forging a new economic and political alignment that could define Zimbabwe's trajectory for decades to come. China's offer came with fewer strings attached, in stark contrast to Western financing, which often demands political and economic reforms as a condition for investment. For Zimbabwe, long isolated and burdened by Western sanctions, China's approach is not just attractive, it's a practical necessity for survival and progress. The government saw in China a partner willing to invest without passing judgment on its internal politics or demanding changes to its governance. Zimbabwe is betting on China's proven track record of delivering large-scale infrastructure projects across Africa, from railways to highways and beyond. Chinese efficiency, demonstrated in the rapid construction of dams, ports, and highways, was a major selling point for Zimbabwean officials eager for results. Officials hope this ambitious project will spark economic revival, create jobs, and restore Zimbabwe's status as a vital regional hub for trade and transport. Choosing China is more than a business deal. It's a vote of confidence in Beijing's development model and its willingness to invest where others hesitate. Decades of Western economic pressure and sanctions have severely limited Zimbabwe's access to international capital and investment opportunities. Turning to China is not just a diplomatic gesture, it's a calculated strategy for both survival and future growth, opening doors that have long been closed. President Mnangagwa's open for business mantra finds a receptive audience in Beijing, where Chinese leaders see opportunity and potential. Chinese investors are willing to take risks and see potential in Zimbabwe's untapped markets where others see only uncertainty. They're ready to engage with a government that much of the West has chosen to shun, forging new ties in the process. This railway deal stands as the most significant symbol yet of this deepening relationship, representing hope for a new era of cooperation. It's a partnership forged out of mutual need, shared ambition, and a desire to chart a new course for the future. Zimbabwe's choice reflects a pragmatic understanding of modern geopolitics, where alliances are shaped by necessity as much as ideology. The country is seeking not just foreign investment, but a renewed place in the global order, one where it can thrive and lead. For Zimbabwe, the railway is more than infrastructure. It's the first step on a journey toward economic renewal and a brighter future. Zimbabwe was once celebrated as the breadbasket of Africa, a nation blessed with fertile land, abundant harvests, and a thriving economy. Its fields yielded enough to feed not only its own people but also to export to neighboring countries, making Zimbabwe a vital player in the region's food security. The cities bustled with trade, and the countryside thrived with agricultural activity. At the heart of this prosperity was the National Railways of Zimbabwe, or NRZ. The railway system was a symbol of national pride, efficient, extensive, and absolutely vital for moving goods and people across the country. The railway connected farms, factories, and mining towns, fueling economic growth and regional commerce. It was the backbone of Zimbabwe's industrial and agricultural success. NRZ's network linked Zimbabwe to major ports in Mozambique and South Africa, transforming the country into a key transit hub for southern Africa. But this era of prosperity would not last. Political decisions, economic mismanagement, and international sanctions began to take their toll. Controversial land reform policies disrupted agriculture, while hyperinflation and currency collapse crippled the economy, leaving businesses and families struggling to survive. As government funds dried up, infrastructure maintenance was neglected. The once robust railway system began to crumble, with tracks and bridges falling into disrepair. The proud NRZ, once the envy of the region, fell into disrepair, mirroring the nation's broader decline and loss of confidence. Today, the tracks are worn and unreliable. Train speeds have slowed dramatically, and derailments have become all too common, disrupting what little rail service remains. Locomotives and wagons now sit idle in rail yards, waiting endlessly for spare parts that never arrive. A stark reminder of better days gone by. With the railways in decline, freight has shifted to the roads, putting immense strain on highways, increasing congestion, and raising transportation costs for businesses and consumers alike. The NRZ is now a shadow of its former self, a faded symbol of lost potential and missed opportunities, its decline echoing across the nation. Zimbabwe's economic woes are written in rusted rails and empty stations, silent witnesses to a once thriving network. Yet, hope remains. Reviving the railway is about more than just fixing tracks. It's about reclaiming the lost promise of a nation and restoring pride in Zimbabwe's future. The nation's future depends on reconnecting its past achievements to new opportunities, bridging generations and communities through renewed infrastructure. The railway's rebirth could be the key to Zimbabwe's recovery, unlocking growth, jobs, and hope for generations to come. The $533 million deal with China is a full-scale modernization, not just repairs. Signed with China International Group, it's one of Zimbabwe's largest infrastructure projects. The long-term loan is backed by China's Export-Import Bank. The focus: rehabilitate the main line. New tracks, bridges, signaling, and communications. Thousands of local jobs will be created alongside Chinese technical experts. New locomotives, wagons, and passenger coaches will transform rail travel and freight. Technology, transfer, and training are built in, aiming to create a new generation of Zimbabwean railway professionals. The project is about building capacity for the future, not just laying tracks. It's a blueprint for sustainable growth and skills development. The Beitbridge-Harare corridor is Zimbabwe's economic artery, a vital lifeline that links the capital city to South Africa, the region's largest economy and Zimbabwe's main trading partner. This route is not just a road, it's the main channel through which the nation's prosperity flows. Most of Zimbabwe's imports and exports travel along this corridor, making its smooth operation absolutely vital for businesses, consumers, and the entire economy. Every day, thousands of tons of goods cross this border, fueling industries and livelihoods. Years of underinvestment and neglect have forced freight onto the roads, clogging highways with endless lines of trucks, wearing down infrastructure, and driving up transport costs for everyone. Now, the revival of the railway promises to shift much of this cargo back onto rail, dramatically slashing transport costs, reducing road damage, and cutting transit times for goods. A single freight train can replace hundreds of trucks, making exports more competitive and imports more affordable for ordinary Zimbabweans. The benefits ripple across every sector. Mining, manufacturing, and agriculture all stand to gain from faster, cheaper, and more reliable transport. With fewer trucks on the road, highways become safer, congestion eases, and emissions drop, leading to cleaner air and healthier communities. The project reconnects isolated communities, brings people closer together, and improves the overall quality of life for countless families. For a landlocked nation like Zimbabwe, efficient logistics are not just important, they are essential for survival and growth in a competitive world. The new railway is about more than just moving goods. It's about unlocking opportunity, empowering entrepreneurs, and connecting people to new possibilities. Zimbabwe's future rides these rails, carrying hope, progress, and the promise of a better tomorrow for all. Western critics warn of debt-trap diplomacy, claiming China's loans could threaten Zimbabwe's sovereignty. They cite cases like Sri Lanka's Hambantota port as cautionary tales. Yet, African leaders argue Western loans have long come with harsh conditions. China offers an alternative, large-scale projects with fewer political strings. The reality is complex. China pursues its interests, but most loans fund productive assets. For Zimbabwe, the railway can generate revenue to service the debt, if managed well. The real risk lies in mismanagement, not a Chinese plot. Success depends on governance, not geopolitics. Ethiopia's Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, built by China, offers lessons for Zimbabwe. The Chinese model, financing, construction, equipment, and training in one package, delivered rapid results. The railway slashed logistics costs, boosted exports, and spurred industrial growth. Challenges remain: operational issues, power supply, and attracting freight. But these are management problems, not evidence of a debt trap. Ethiopia's experience shows transformative potential and the need for strong local oversight. Zimbabwe can emulate Ethiopia's successes and learn from its setbacks. The key is turning infrastructure into economic momentum. The Chinese approach offers speed and scale, but local management is crucial. Zimbabwe's future depends on how it runs the railway, not just who builds it. Revitalizing the railway is central to Zimbabwe's mining ambitions. The country's vast reserves, platinum, chrome, gold, lithium, need efficient transport to reach global markets. High road costs have stifled mining growth. Rail is the only viable solution. The new line will boost mining output, attract investment, and support the government's $12 billion mining target. Lithium, vital for batteries, is a strategic focus for both Zimbabwe and China. Reliable railways will also benefit agriculture and manufacturing, lowering costs and boosting exports. The project is a catalyst for broad-based economic growth. Tax revenues from growth can fund public services and repay loans. The railway is an enabler, unlocking Zimbabwe's resources and potential. It's about creating a cycle of development, not just moving minerals. The China railway deal is a statement of intent. Zimbabwe is ready to rejoin the regional economy. It's part of Africa's infrastructure boom with China as a key partner. The partnership is mutually beneficial. Africa gets infrastructure, China secures resources and allies. A modern rail network positions Zimbabwe as a vital transit route for neighbors like Zambia and the DRC. Transit fees and regional ties can boost Zimbabwe's influence and revenue. The railway physically and economically reintegrates Zimbabwe into southern Africa. Success depends on good governance and wise management. If Zimbabwe gets it right, the railway will drive a new era of prosperity and connection.